In Gabriel Garcia Marquez's famous book, 100 Years of Solitude, many of the characters go through lots of trauma and end up facing solitude in some sort of way at the end of their lives. Because of this, we decided that it was time for some of the members of the condo to go see a therapist.
Come in.
Hello, Dr. David. I've been in so much distress lately.
Good to see you, Ursula. What seems to be the problem?
Well, recently I've been feeling really alone and super down.
Go on.
Well, I used to be like this really energetic and lively person, but lately I feel like my family is falling apart and I just want to be all alone.
Alright, let's start from the beginning.
Well, I started out young and married to Jose Arcadio. He was always up to something new. I always felt like I had to hold the family together, like the time when Jose Arcadio wanted to move out of my condo and I said no, or when I went to try to find my son, Jose Arcadio, and we ran off with the gypsies.
That sounds stressful, but you seem to have dealt with it very well.
Yes, I did, and I continue to do so. When my sons and daughters began to have children, I took it upon myself to expand the house so that we could keep the family close. I even threw a big party at my own house to celebrate Remedios and Aureliano's marriage.
Okay, so when did you start to feel change with your life in the condo?
I mean, it all kind of started when Melquiades died for the first time. That was really hard on everyone, and I felt the pressure of me being the peacekeeper.
Okay, so that was the catalyst?
Well, not exactly, but that was the first in a series of a lot of unfortunate events.
Tell me some more.
Okay, like when I had to tie my dear husband Jose Arcadio Buendia to a tree and watch as he died, or when sweet Remedios died way too young, also the horrific marriage of Rebecca and Jose Arcadio, and oh my gosh, the war.
What about the war?
My son, Colonel Aureliano, was always off fighting. He was never home. Nobody was ever happy, and I was always in disarray, trying to make everyone happy, and I could never stop worrying because there was just so much violence.
Wow, that's a lot, and I'm sure it piled up on you to quite the toll.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now I'm 120 years old, and I'm so tired. All the new generations of Buendias are letting me down, and now I'm blind because of it. It's so hard to think straight. I feel all these things that have happened to me have caused me to push away people, and I have this newfound sense of solitude, and it has changed me.
I apologize, Ursula. I'm afraid our time is up. I have to get along with my next patient. He's a bit of a crazy one. I hope things get better.
Alright, Doc. It's nice seeing you.
You too. Ah, hello, Zed. How are you?
Well, I'm good, Doctor.
Well, I'm great. Thank you. What seems to be the issue?
Well, you see, lately my obsessions with my studies have brought me extreme moments of loneliness.
Well, what research are you obsessed into?
Well, it's into some weird gypsy things, you know. They brought a bunch of random but interesting things, and now I can't get my mind off of it.
Okay, go on. What are these things?
Well, first it was magnets, and then it was things like magic heartbeats and even ice.
How would these modern inventions make you feel?
I mean, excited. I mean, that's all I can think about.
Do you think this is a healthy obsession?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like because of my obsession, I've been pushing everybody away because all I care about is my lab and my studies. Now everyone thinks I'm insane and I'm tied up to a tree. I live a very solitary life. It's very depressing.
Well, you see, you need to keep in contact with your loved ones in order to remain human and intact. If not, you will slip away into insanity, although I think you might already be there, right?
Okay, look, I'll try. I really felt like I needed this because...
Sorry, Jose. Our time seems like it's up. We'll meet again next week?
Okay, Doctor.
Okay, Jose. I'll be seeing you. Take care.
Okay, goodbye.
come in, Rebecca.
Hi, Doc.
What seems to be the problem?
Well, there really isn't one, I'm gonna be honest. I was just required to be here because it was Jose Arcardio's dying wish.
Well, aren't you sad at the moment because Jose Cardio died?
Well, I was, but not anymore.
Explain.
Okay, so basically, my whole life I've been isolated, and I'm totally okay with it. My parents abandoned me, and I was left to be taken care of by Ursula. My sister Amaranta hated me, and I coped with it all by eating dirt and whitewash.
So it seems as if, although you were around people, you were somewhat on your own.
Exactly, which is why when I met the love of my life, Jose Arcadio, and Ursula kicked us out, I was totally fine living in a house alone with Jose Arcadio, away from a condo.
Well, what about when your husband died?
Don't get me wrong, that was hard, and not a day goes by where I don't think of him. I'm always going to be heartbroken. But I'm glad I stayed and lived alone outside of a condo, because I was at peace with my solitude. I didn't want to be around all those other people.
That's great. Thanks for dropping by. Hello, Colonel Orleano.
Good afternoon.
Why the long face?
Well, I was just sad and lonely and upset with everything.
Wow. I thought you were the great Colonel Orleano. I thought you were the big guy who had it all.
Well, I was. They used to be happy.
Well, that changed. Or what changed?
The war changed me.
How so?
Well, I was this happy guy, living in my condo, following my father's footsteps. But when the political war broke loose between the liberals and the conservatives, I got involved and I began to fight.
Yeah, I know you're in the war. You led the war.
Yeah, and I got too involved and I began to lose track of what I wasn't even fighting for. It got to the point where I didn't even care if it was the liberals or the conservatives. I was just fighting for the sake of my own pride.
War is not something to be taken lightly.
Well, I know, and it caused me to push away some of my best friends and even my mother. So,
That's harsh.
yeah, and now I'm so affected by the war that what I've seen and what I've done to people it's changed me, and I just never want to talk to anyone again.
Seems like the war pushed you into a bad place of solitude. We're out of time today, but we will talk this through more next week. I promise. Now I have to speak with your sister, Amaranta.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Doc.
Hello, Amaranta. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling a bit lonely today.
Why? Explain.
Well, I have a lot of issues with men. I feel like I'm always the second choice, and when I'm not the second choice, I just push them away.
Is that why you think you are not married?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me more about this pushing away and never selling for a man.
Well, it all started off with Pietro Crespi. He was so dreamy, but he totally was into my sister Rebecca. I just feel like I'm always living in Rebecca's shadow. Like she's so much prettier than me, and it isn't fair that Pietro liked her more than me.
Who is this Pietro?
He's this cute, dreamy Italian man.
Oh, right. Continue.
Okay, so basically, I was in love with Pietro, but Pietro asked Rebecca to marry him, and Rebecca said yes. So I kind of jumped off the deep end and went psycho and tried to stop their wedding. Okay, now I'm gonna make a confession, Dr. David. Nobody knows this, but I wrote a fake letter on their wedding day saying that Pietro's mom had died and had stalled their wedding.
Wow, we're going to need a lot more therapy sessions to dive into that one.
Well, anyway, Rebecca ended up falling in love with my brother Jose Arcadio. Gross, right? And what do you know? Pietro comes running to me like I'm his second choice. He says he wants to get married, and of course I said no. I'm better than that.
So what next?
Well, then Pietro kills himself, and I'm left with all the guilt.
Wow.
After that, men just don't appeal to me anymore, and I'm always bitter, and I never want to do anything. I'm not interested in any man. This whole boy situation has me in a place where I always feel alone, and I feel as if nobody wants me. So instead, I just stay in solitude, and I keep to myself all day, every day.
That is not an enjoyable way to live. We can talk about this more next week.
Thanks, Doc.
No problem.
Wow, these Makana people are really lonely and crazy. If they only realize that they can find peace and joy in their solidarity. Jose Cardio, Ursula, Rebecca, Amaranta, and Colonel Arellano are all people dealing with solitude, just in different ways. Ursula is a prime example of someone who has gone through change and is now facing solitude as a result of change. Jose Cardio Buendia shows how his mental state and solitude has affected others. Colonel Arellano is an example of someone dealing with the negative effects of solitude like sadness, depression, and loneliness. Rebecca is a person who finds joy and satisfaction with being on her own despite hardships. Amaranta is an example of a person who has been in solitude her whole life, and her bitterness and isolated nature is a result of that lifestyle. Gee whiz, it's been a long day. It's time for me to get out of my condo. After all these therapy sessions, it's time for a vacation. I wonder what Jamaica is like this time of year.